the game already starts, and we can see the Warlock Zoo against the Rogue of Forsen against those pirates.
Yeah, but this time, you're right, Adi, you can't rely on the Rogue, but we might see Forsen's handlock one more time.
Yeah, finally. We were looking for that moment quite some time now.
Adi is starting with his Zoo. That's very interesting. Zoo, a deck which is infamous for being able to sweep and has been throughout Hearthstone's history. Just how powerful is Zoo right now? Well, technically, against Forsen's very aggressive lineup, it should be pretty good, right?
Yeah, we saw Firebird bringing Zoo as well,
Yep.
and he thought there would be no ban in this tournament, so he brought Zoo and tagged it with Ooze and the small pirates and stuff like that. And so it's a viable line against those pirates out there.
Right. And Forsen, although it's not just the aggressive decks that RDU is going to have to come up against, because as was just mentioned, Handlock is a deck that is there and not banned. So Zoo versus Handlock, it's not a matchup that I've seen in a very, very long time, but I feel like it must be Handlock favored.
Yeah, normally yes, but yeah, I guess we'll see.
Forsen throwing down patches straight away, turn 1. Got 2 more cheap pirates in his hand. Really, really strong start. It's actually going to take a lot for RDU to defend himself from this, especially given the backstab there. But I think having 2 1/3 minions on the board is a nice way to go about doing that.
Yeah, already exchanging emotes here, just from the start.
Wait,
Let the BM begin, turn 1.
I think, I'm not completely sure, but I think RDU may have just squelched Forsen, actually.
Yeah, now he's smiling. Oh, I squashed you.
It's the small victories, right?
Yeah, it's a small victory. Turn 1, squash Forsen.
The Eviscerate from Forsen, actually a fantastic pickup there, allowing him to completely clear the board and only sacrifice 1 of his minions. It's still not as good a position as he was in before, but 2 1/3 minions, pretty lethal against minions that have 1 health. And so RDU's guys did do a pretty good job at least using up Forsen's removal.
Yeah, you could play Dark Peddler now into turn 3 Malkusar's Imp in Darkshire Librarian, but he decides just to go for the 1-drop here and take maybe the next good trade.
Yeah, just another powerful 1/3 minion if Forsen is using his weapon here. Yes, he gets the buff from the Buccaneer, but it still just goes into the Imp, as does the Buccaneer, unless Forsen decides to start going face hero. But that's so difficult to do against the Zoo deck because of cards like Defender of Argus that can just lock you down if you let a board develop.
Yeah, he needed to do that play because of the weapon, of course. And yeah, now it will trade off the 2-1 Buccaneer. Perfectly fine here.
The thing is, Forsen's rapidly running out of resources, and RDU, as the Zoo deck, is not going to run out of resources, not for a very long time.
Yeah, especially if his health count is, yeah, almost full.
Yeah.
Dark Peddler.
Peddler just generates another card.
Voodoo Doctor is not too bad because it heals, of course. A power mamming could be possible as well. It's another creature. It will die to the weapon, that's downside here.
Is Corruption ever good enough here? Because you can't kill the small-time Buccaneer immediately, but if you play Corruption, you accept that you take some damage, but then it definitely dies next turn.
Yeah, of course. It's possible, at least. But if you just play the Voodoo Doctor, you might get the trade in. Unless there's Saucy Deckhand.
That's true, that's true. Because one of these minions takes the weapon, sure, but in theory, as far as RDU is concerned, the other one does eat up the small-time Buccaneer. But unfortunately for him, as you pointed out, there is a Saucy Deckhand in Forsen's hand.
Yeah, but it's still okay, because if you have the 2-1 Voodoo Doctor healing you up for 2 HP, and then it gets traded by the Saucy Deckhand, you still have a good trade, right?
Yep, absolutely. Swashbuckler is also capable of doing some amazing things, as we have seen in this tournament.
Here we go. Let's see.
Oh my goodness, power overwhelming. That's actually essentially a very good card.
It's basically for damage to the face, right?
Exactly. A lot of cards with charge in Forsen's deck. Leroy Jenkins just being one prime example. And RDU, despite probably being the favorite here, is facing down a big board. And Flame Imp is one of those cards that he just doesn't really want to play.
It's not that bad, because board-wise it's a good card. and he can play 1-drop, 1-drop, and a 2-drop now if he wants to, or just the Darkshire Librarian first. Maybe he'll discard it or whatever. And yeah, so it's not so bad because his amount of health is just good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, going for the full card value here.
Yep. Forsen, kind of awkward because he wants to combo the Defias Ringleader, but he doesn't really want to use Power Overwhelming, although you can probably afford to just use it for 5 damage to the face right now, 4 damage to the face.
I feel like it's a little bit too early, right? Because you want to trade in.
Right. So, I guess you have to use Defias Ringleader as just a single 2-2, unless he just holds on to it.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think there's a point in holding on to it.
No.
Because you will lose board immediately, most likely at least.
I agree with you. Obviously deciding, yeah, he needs the bodies on the board to make the trades. And now RDU is doing what Zoos do best, and that is actually making very efficient trades, using cards like Abusive Sergeant, even as a 1-1, just to buff up minions.
Oh, damn, he drew it. If he draws first, of course, he'll discard
Yeah. But you never expect that, right? There's 2 cards that benefit you by drawing them first. And
yeah, of course.
probability-wise, he had to
Never
play.
go for that one.
No. So, I feel like Forsen has to play the Power Overwhelming this turn, because the SI7 agent combo is just too good.
Yeah, but then you just... I'm not sure.
So it's 6 damage, puts RDU down to 9. If the SI7 agent goes face, puts him down to 7. Weapon goes face, that's 6. Leroy Jenkins is 6 damage.
Yeah, but Defender of Argus is a card in this world of Hearthstone, so...
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
So maybe he's just holding on to both cards. I guess his Defias Ringleader does trade very well with the current board.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Doom the top deck or stuff like that now. Nope. Just an Imp Gang boss. But you can develop both minions. Maybe you can trade in first. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's not good for
Flame
RDU.
Imp.
Now we can't play the Flame Imp, really.
No,
can
it's
we?
just like...
But like...
I thought what should happen, right? You just... you
Okay.
try to get the Defender of Argus and then you win, right?
Yeah. Double SI7 agent.
Another SI. Yeah, at least one of those is yellow, so...
Yeah, and it clears up the Silverware Golem with Forsen's weapon as well. It's so awkward because you know he wants to go face. But again, he set up a board where Imp Gang Boss doesn't do much, but Defender of Argus is pretty brutal. Soulfire also pretty brutal in this position, allowing RDU to almost entirely clear the board.
Yeah. I think he will tap first and try to discard...
But he taps into Doomguard, maybe. Oh, he did!
Yes!
I done it again! I'm sorry.
Yeah. Good card, right?
Oh, no. I mean, okay, at the end of the day, it's still a Doomguard.
Yeah.
It's like a Soulfire, but you have a 5/4 body on the board at the end of it. So it's not actually the worst.
Oh, it's 12 damage here. He's 1 off lethal, actually. And he goes for it because, he still got the hero power, so he can finish him off next turn.
So if RDU's
there
next...
is no taunt.
Yeah, if RDU's next draw is not Defender of Argus or Voidwalker or another taunt...
Or Peddler into taunt.
Right. Or Peddler into heal. then
and he's just like, well played into Happy V-Storm Winter Whale.
No good. Doomguard, usually one of the best draws in the deck.
Tap into... Die.
There is a certain amount of irony to that final draw. RDU down to his Druid and his Warrior.
Yes. Pirate's strong, huh?
Pirate's definitely strong. What is the counter? RDU's Warrior, it was more of a Dragon-style Warrior.
Yep.
I guess that could essentially counter the Pirate Warrior.
Yeah. RDU, the problem for RDU is he doesn't have the Dragon Priest other lineups had. Especially like Thais beat Forsen 3-0 with the Dragon Priest.
Right.
Because pirates, dragons. Dragons bigger than pirates.
Dragons are definitely bigger
basically
than
it.
pirates. And the deck works in a very similar way. They've got their own, or RDU's got his own patches that can come out and deal with Forsen's early aggression. So it's a pretty good matchup. I assume that is what RDU is going to, because the Druid, I think the Druid is going to struggle against these aggressive decks. I really do.
Yeah, it's the warrior because the dragons, you know.
Yeah.
Small time Buccaneer, good card here. Do you hold backstab? He thinks about it. Could stop early aggression, but on the other hand, you really want to do damage. I like the keep actually. Yeah. Okay, and the emotes are going here.
Oh man, it's the battle for third place. It is an important one. There is a difference in the prize pool between third and fourth, but it's also a little bit of a fun one, I think, for these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, patches. Such a strong card.
Yeah, apparently so. Huh.
Yeah. Do you go for the fiery works just because you have two of them, or just the small time Buccaneer and the Blood to Ichor? Together with patches, you can clear off the small time Buccaneer of Forsen.
I feel like the small time Buccaneer and Blood to Ichor is actually a more powerful play because you end up with a 2/2 and your own small time Buccaneer against only Forsen's patches. But you're right, there are two fiery Warxes there, and RDU is going to want to get the value out of those sooner rather than later. So it gets equipped, deals with the small time Buccaneer.
Yeah.
Next turn, he's free to play the Pirates.
Yeah, and those cards won't get worse, I guess, because he saw Forsen just holding 3 cards in his starting hand.
Yeah.
So he assumes that it's a quite fast hand here.
Yeah. Well, the only way that RDU gets punished by not making the pirate play is if, obviously, now he draws patches.
Yes. Are you trying to set it
No,
up?
now I'm really scared it's going to happen again. All right, we're good.
Oh, yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, okay.
Crisis averted because Fairy Dragon's not so bad, actually. It does allow RDU to play the small time Buccaneer, and if he wants to, hit with the weapon, hit with the patches, make the trades, and actually control the board.
Yeah, board control seems fine in turn 3 against pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 guys in charge, trading each other off the board.
I don't think neither of them are in charge.
No. Next level in charge, which means dead.
Buccaneer, pretty nice pickup there, as dealing with that Fairy Dragon with the 2 backstabs and the sap was not going to happen. So Buccaneer, weapon, dealing with Fairy Dragon seems really strong.
Yeah, the second backstab here.
And now RDU doesn't have the board anymore.
Yeah, but
And
that's actually not too good here, right?
there's no way of getting it back.
Yeah. He just kind of gets it back because he has the weapon equipped. But
The problem is Forsen also has this this 2/1 weapon, and now he's got the initiative. He can spam the board now, and RDU's going to have to react to it. Although Blood to Ichor is a pretty great counter to the Argent Horse Rider.
yeah, but then you can't play Azure Drake. Oh, another one. Yeah, you have to play the Azure Drake here. There's
Okay.
no world where you just play Blood to Ichor and armor up. Won't happen. He's just always grabbing the top deck card so far. Okay, small time Buccaneer.
Huh.
Weapon, no.
Looks like King's Defender. I guess it would allow for Forsen to clear the Azure Drake. The question is, to what extent can you actually afford to trade?
Yeah. The
But
other question is, do you want to sap it? Because it's a tempo swing itself.
Yes.
But on the other hand, it has no taunt, right? So
Right.
you could just backstab trade.
Or could you ever just ignore it?
No.
You don't think you can ignore
No,
it?
no.
Yeah, okay. He's hovering over the backstab. King's Defender, backstab, King's Defender, King's Defender. Not one of the best weapons in the game, admittedly, but from a swashbuckler, it's going to serve a purpose. Oh!
Okay.
Okay, backstab and trade, sure.
Yeah. I think he wasn't really sure what to do. Yeah, but the board seems okay, right?
Forsen's board certainly does.
Yeah.
That ship captain.
That's another not too good draw. It's just too slow and it's no dragon, so Alistra's champion.
The worst thing for RDU right now is that he doesn't have a dragon in his hand. That Alistra's champion can't do anything. Double blood to Ica could deal with the small-time Buccaneer and also generate an ooze.
Yeah.
So he can contest the board, make it even. Alistra's champion, it's a 2-3, but at the moment, it's a pretty vital 2-3.
Yeah, but it's kind of fun because you have turn 7, turn 8 in your hand, and maybe you can counter-race him then if Forsen isn't able to keep the pressure up.
Right, absolutely. Malkorok can be a disaster. Obviously, Cursed Blade still is in the rotation for now.
Yes, it is.
As we've seen many a time.
Yeah, Cursed Blade would be...
But so's Doomhammer, and so's Gorehound, and they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
We already saw this weapon in a previous game, just right out of Malkorok.
Yeah, that's right. Malkorok is really liking this weapon. We're seeing it far more from Malkorok than we ever do in a Shaman deck, that's for certain.
Yeah, rigged.
Now what does Forsen do? Oh, Deadly Poison on the 3-1 weapon. If only it still had multiple charges left.
Yeah, but you can attack, re-equip. It's 5 damage to the face, so another 6 lining up.
Malkorok is another awkward minion to sap as well. He's going to do it, but he's essentially giving RDU more weapon charges.
Yeah.
Or maybe another chance at a Cursed Blade.
Yeah, he's just going for the Cursed Blade out here.
But Ragnaros seems like a pretty big play for RDU. Can he afford to not armor up this turn? I think he has to not armor up, I mean.
Yeah. He saw the rogue holding 1 card with 3 mana left, so he might assume it's a card that's pretty expensive or just a removal. Yeah, just Ragnaros maybe. Trading off the minion, but I think you really want to armor up here. Yeah. I like it way better than the Ragnaros.
Okay.
Because it's almost the same damage, right? Not in this turn, but in the next turn.
And it's just a little bit safer, I guess. I think the armoring up is important because what are we looking at? Leroy Jenkins Cold Blood could have been lethal.
Actually, you need minions to trade off potential threats on the board.
Yeah, no, I do completely agree with you.
Yeah.
So many options.
Because now, how does Forsen win this? He's got 6 damage with the weapon over 2 turns, 2 with the SS7 agent combo. That's 8 damage over 2 turns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a Leroy top deck, as you said, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Okay,
no,
okay.
you're right. Like,
Easy.
RDU doesn't have a way of gaining armor. He doesn't have a dragon in his hand, so Twilight Guardian isn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think he runs... Does he run Fierce Monkey?
Actually, I'm not sure, because Super Chat and Live Coach did run Fierce Monkey, but I'm not sure if Radu does it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess all there is for RDU to do right now is work out which trades are the correct trades to make, because he has to armor up this turn.
Does he have to armor up this turn?
Let's see.
It's 3 damage.
Okay, so the weapon... What does he need to play around? What deals 3 damage? Eviscerate deals 2 because there's nothing to combo it with.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Well, he did anyway. I guess there's not really any reason not to.
No.
That definitely doesn't deal 3 damage.
No, that's not 3 damage.
No, it's not 6 either.
It's no damage.
No.
He's not playing it.
What do you gain from playing it? You protect your face for a little bit longer because something has to
you
trade.
need to hold on to it just because of Eviscerate, but he will armor up, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Eviscerate isn't an out.
If you are still alive, then.
Leroy Jenkins is still the only out next turn with the weapon swing as well. But you're right, because of Ragnaros, regardless of whether that ringleader comes down or not, I'm pretty certain this is lethal for RDU.
Yeah, this is lethal here. He's just returning the favor by the emote.
Yeah, maybe RDU squelched Forsen, but did Forsen squelch RDU? We will never know.
I don't think they squashed each other. I just want to keep the chat up.
Right. Wow, well, great game. Forsen is left with his Shaman and his Handlock, I believe.
Yes. What would you play against the Dragon Warrior here?
Handlock versus Dragon Warrior is never a matchup that I've seen. Have you?
I think it's also a matchup that you don't really want to play.
For the Handlock?
Yeah, for the Handlock.
Okay. Because Dragon Warrior obviously came to fame since Handlock's demise.
Mm-hmm.
So the closest I've ever seen is Reno Lock, and I think the Dragon Warrior is pretty good against the Reno Lock. Just because the fact that it deals so much damage early and then continues to pressure way into the late game with the 6-mana 9/9s, Grommash, Ragnaros, etc.
Yeah, but he took his Shaman and yeah, Small Time Buccaneer. Good card.
So many pirates in this tournament
Yes.
over this weekend.
Yeah, those are most likely the archetypes you would have expected before the expansion came out.
Yeah.
Like the Pirates, Reno, of course, and Jade. We haven't seen so many Jade decks.
No, you're right. We haven't. I feel like Pirate 2 months ago, if I told you that Pirate Shaman would be like a top tier meta deck, you wouldn't believe me.
I'm not too sure because patches seemed so.
No, I
OP.
mean before it was announced. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to play Dragon Warrior with the Pirates since like 2 years. Or
Yeah.
for the last 2 years.
Oh yeah. Well, it definitely works now.
Yeah, you just have to wait.
Okay, you're right. There's no squelching. Forsen kind of distracting RDU there, it looks like. I guess the question is Fiery Works or Fairy Dragon. No, Blood to Ica. Okay, sure. It still essentially deals with Finley.
Mhm.
Over 2 turns.
Yeah, Small Time Buccaneer. And first patch is coming.
Yeah, I like these trades very much. If Forsen can pick up a weapon in the next few turns, RDU gets patches.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that patches.
Thing is, patches is so bad because on one hand it's like drawing a Stone Tusk Boar, and then on the other hand it's like you just draw one less card from your deck. It's like you've given up your draw because you were going to get patches anyway.
It's like a free card draw.
Yeah, right. Usually, and that's why you put it in the deck. So when you don't get the free card draw, it's a bit of a disaster. Frothing seems good, right?
But it's still kind of fun because if you're playing against an aggressive deck, a boar isn't the worst card.
Right.
It's not good. Okay.
Yeah, we can agree on that. Gonna go with the slightly wider play. I don't think there's much choices here for Forsen to make. Go with the 7/7 every time.
He didn't play Frozen Berserker. I kinda liked it.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I guess maybe RDU was a little bit afraid of Jade Lightning.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he will play it now. And yeah, trade off the 7/7 maybe, and then Frozen Berserker gets buffed by 6/6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Here we go. So it's 8/4. And suddenly he could raise Forsen here.
Yeah, I mean, Forsen only has 3 mana to play with this turn. How does he ever deal with this Frothing Berserker? That was pretty well executed by RDU.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not running any hacks. Oh, Jade.
We're in this situation again that we've seen so many times, where the Shaman just gets a handful of weapons that he can't do anything with. You can't play Jade Claws and waste the Spirit Claws. Or, well, I guess you've got to.
Yeah, and hitting the Frozen Berserker like twice or 3 times with your weapons, it's not gonna happen.
Well, yeah, you just can't. You just lose if that happens. So Forsen is going to have to hope to pick up a card that actually deals with Frothing Berserker. But look at how strong patches can be, even as a Stone Tusk Boar. Frothing Berserker is now a 10/4. Not a 10/10, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just Frozen Berserker.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, maybe you're gonna clear next turn. So he really needs something. And
What is it? Okay.
Oh, it's just a totem golem. Oh damn! I'm pretty sure RU will start spamming emotes soon.
He's too lost in thought right now by the looks of it.
Should I go face here? Oh
Wait.
yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's just lethal. RDU actually taking the second game in a row, meaning that Forsen is stuck with just his handlock deck. This is what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, the handlock finally, and man, that was a fast game.
It was. We've actually had a couple fast series, one after the other, since the incredibly long one. We're trying to make up for time here. But handlock, this can't be good for Forsen, can it?
Actually, maybe better than the last one.
Well,
it can't get worse than that frozen berserker here, right?
That is a fair point. It sounds like we're diving straight into the next game.
Yeah, here we go.
Mixtures of Mixtures and Doomsayer is a good set of cards to start off with.
Yeah, exactly. Combined by the 3-drop. Ring fast 0 here. But on the other hand, yeah, we can see Alex Strauss as champion. Fairy Dragon. It's kind of sad that he doesn't have the coin. Blood to Ikura. Yeah, trading it off, perfectly fine. No Mortal Coil in hand yet. But I'm pretty sure he will just play, yeah,
Yep.
the Doomsayer.
It's a safe bet. He can coin out the Twilight Drake next turn if he wants to, or just stay on curve, maybe even play Elden Ring Farseer. RDU doesn't appear to have a way of getting rid of the Doomsayer. In fact, I think the only card that would have done that is the second Alex Strauss as champion or a Fiery Works.
Yeah, exactly.
With Blood Ticker, obviously.
Just armoring up. Yeah, an early Doomsayer against tempo decks or aggressive decks is so important. First Drake, he just drew the second one, so
Right.
it's just basically to take the board in the early game. It's kind of sad that...
It's a Chillwind Yeti.
Yeah,
No, I haven't
Good
seen one of
card.
those in a while.
good card.
I mean, it's only slightly worse than it needs to be to see play. As we're seeing from Forsen's Twilight Drake here. Like, this isn't bad. 4-5 stats is really frustrating for RDU. His core coin elite doesn't quite topple it, and he doesn't have the mana to play Blood to Icar as well this turn.
Yeah, so what could you play? Maybe someone is in charge, but that doesn't really help yet.
No, but if
Next turn.
if Forsen were to make this trade, then yeah, next turn, Patch is appearing. Again, in theory, would be great for RDU, but actually the Elden Ring Farseer is there. Although it looks like Forsen's just going to play another 4-5. Why not? First one's doing a good job.
Yeah, Chillwind Yeti army attacking.
Right. Now I guess Patches has to come down.
Yeah.
RDU does not want to draw it at him again.
And do you play both Fairy Dragons along that? Because then the top deck Demon Fire, ooh, that's a good card then.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can
guess.
see that, right?
I think you have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Or, if you want to be conservative, you could play one, but I don't know exactly what that achieves for you unless you are specifically playing around that card, or Hellfire, I guess.
Yeah. And maybe he just plays one just to hold one dragon in his hand.
Oh, yeah,
we
that's
saw
good
it
too.
in the game between Life Coach and Super JJ. No.
Oh.
No?
This is a
And the
decision.
rope hits.
This is a decision that RDU is very soon to regret. There's the thank you emote.
And Radu, I think he knows what's next, right? Demon Rise. And Forsen is just like, yeah, the handlock. Didn't ban it.
Oh man, Frothing Berserker doesn't do anything. It just trades with the Twilight Drake, which is not a very good trade, considering how powerful the Frothing Berserker has the potential to be.
Yeah. Yeah, like last game, right?
Yeah, just like last game.
And he doesn't play it, therefore.
No, okay. He's hoping that the slime trades into it, but that Elden Ring Farseer is still sitting there, ready to heal up the Twilight Drake for it to make more trades.
Yeah, healing up. And just trading, because you can afford trading here. You're the slow deck. Yeah. Yes.
He needs one more mana. Like next turn, he's got Grom or Rag, and then the following turn, he's got Grom or Rag. But on 7 mana. He doesn't have Grom or Rag.
Against the hand lock. Like, seriously? Oh, man.
Ragnaros could be MVP here, though.
Yeah, do you go for the gamble? How far behind are you exactly? Oh, yes. Okay, I will crush you into Ragnaros, hoping for the hit on the 8/8. And
He didn't get it. And Faceless Manipulator sitting there in Forsen's hand. This could be the time to use it.
yes.
Yep, he's hovering over it. A 5 mana 8/8. Druids can tell us that that's pretty good. But he's using it on Ragnaros instead, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Do you go for the 50-50 hit, or do you just trade it off the board?
I think you go. I think you just trade it. You're against the aggressive deck. You're not the aggressor. You can play Mistress of Mixtures, Earthen Ring Farseer, heal yourself up. Are you kidding me?
He's just okay. That red. No, he's
got to trade it. He's got to.
But it's just extended BM here, right? Oh yes.
Oh.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Do you actually look surprised
was
at
just
this
like, oh, are you sure, mate?
Yeah, like Gromash. Okay. Right.
True.
Gromash could have just won the game potentially if that were to happen.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I would really love to see that play. It's just not good, but
Right now, because Forsen made the trade, what is Ragnaros? Sorry, what is RDU to do against this Ragnaros?
what is Ragnaros to do? You just hit face, right?
What now?
Yeah, what now? Just an unpleasant situation. Your opponent just played Ragnaros for 5 mana, beside killing your own Ragnaros. I think basically was the game when Ragnaros didn't hit the giant, right?
You have a very nice way of putting things there, Camlin. Yeah, that Ragnaros is a little bit of a disaster for RDU. He can go wide, he can play 3 minions, though 2 of them just get traded into, and then Ragnaros potentially hits the 3rd. Gonna go with a hero power. I guess.
It's
Okay.
a steady shot. It's FaceTime now.
I wondered if he was going to go with a Totemic Call just to make his board a little bit wider, but no, you're right. You're right.
Smog. Just smog.
I think it goes into the Mistress of Mixtures. He needs to heal himself. No?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has to prevent the good trade. So.
Yeah, for sure. Ragnaros, obviously, one method that Forsen has to snipe off that Frothing Berserker. Shadow Bolt, another.
He could also silence it if he wants to.
Yeah, so three methods of getting rid of the Frothing Berserker. Taunting at Ragnaros also isn't the worst play in the world, right? Just protecting the face does mean that RDU will not win the game.
Destroying the weapon is also a good play, and I think that's a problem because you're way ahead and you just have so many good options.
Which way do I want to win this game is what Forsen is thinking right now.
Which emote do I use next? Yeah, just playing all of them, I guess.
Your magic shall not see.
Yes. And Ragnaros can move into the face now, hitting Radu for 8 damage. And yeah, that's basically it. Well played.
Okay,
And
well,
good pleasant feast of Winterwell, of course.
after what has been a very entertaining, very fast series of games, it's all going to come down to RDU's Druid versus Forsen's Handlock, and that should not be a good matchup for RDU.
I'm not completely sure. He's playing the OTK version.
Yeah, that
Con.
changes things.
So
That does change things.
I think he's kind of ahead. Although I've never played the
No, you're right. I was imagining the Jade Golems being built up bit by bit, but you're right. With the Kun OTK version, he does have the opportunity to just snatch a win out of nowhere if he can build up the hand big enough.
Yeah.
The problem that RDU is going to face is having to deal with all of the huge minions that Forsen play in the early game. The 4-mana 8/8 Mountain Giant being a prime example, and we can see it's there in Forsen's hand. I don't see him mulliganing that away.
Oh wait, was I wrong? He's playing Jade.
Oh, he's
I
Jade.
thought he was Khan.
Well,
I might have mixed it up. I'm sorry, guys.
that's okay. So, on top of RDU having to deal with all of these early game threats, yeah, the problem is the Jade Golems do climb up so slowly. I believe that Forsen is very favoured here lineup wise.
Yeah, if it's Jade, of course, then yes.
RDU though, he can coin Wild Growth into Jade Blossom, giving him 5 mana the following turn if he picks up an Azure Drake by then, or even a Jade Idol to play with his Jade Spirit. He's got a really good amount of ramp going.
Yeah, it's so strong to coin out the Wild Growth nowadays because suddenly after the expansion you now have a 3-drop. You had like almost no possibilities to do that play before the expansion.
Ever since Shade of Naxxramas.
Yeah,
right?
ever since the good old Shade.
RDU would have loved Jade Idol here though. Can you imagine that? 3/3 Jade Golem already?
Yes, but his draw is quite insane. Aya, Black Paw next turn, and he already got the Get-Gatchen Auctioneer in his hand, so he can start cycling later on.
Yep. Aya is a no-brainer here, I imagine. Unless he wants to clear this Twilight Drake, but I think that you don't need to play around like something like Shadow Flame or anything.
Flame would
but
be brutal.
Well, it would be. It depends exactly what RDU is playing around, because Shadow Flame on its own at least would kill the Aya and you get the Death Rattle, but there is a Spellbreaker in Forsen's hand, but he can't play Spellbreaker and Shadow Flame.
Yeah, how afraid is he of the Shadow Flame? Can he afford playing around it? That's the next question. Even if he's afraid. But Aya just seems to be so smooth here.
Okay, no, RDU disagrees with us. He's going to clear the Twilight Drake. Pretty scary position to be in, because the Handlock is just better at coming up with early game threats. He's putting out Bran there, hoping that he can get the double Battle Cry next turn with Aya.
Yeah.
And actually, unless...
the Shadow Flame, he top-decked it.
He did get it, but it's no good now. And unless Forsen were to play Spellbreaker, RDU could actually play the double Aya. Doomsayer is a problem as well, but I'm wondering if you still play it. Because you build up the Jade Golems, and then
Let's
you
see what
still
he gets.
get another Jade Golem. I think you play it.
What's your next turn afterwards? Like maybe the Get-Gatchen. Maybe it's not too bad because you need your golems.
You need them as big as possible.
Yeah, you need them as big as possible, as fast as possible.
So that they can survive the Shadow Flames and survive the cards like that.
Yeah, exactly. Having them at 6/6 or 7/7 or maybe even 5/5, it's so important here. And he's still got board control now after the AoE come down, after the Doomsayer gone off.
Okay, Forsen drawing, using his life tap ability, something that handlocks do tend to do quite often, and just gonna plonk an 8/8 down.
Ooh.
Mulch,
Yeah,
the
top deck
perfect
mulch.
pickup. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow him to play Gadgets and Auctioneer as well.
Yeah, natural mistake. Playing a 8/8 for
Wait,
mana.
does I think Forsen even overdraws?
Yeah, but playing around Marsh.
Wait, that's probably not relevant in this matchup.
No, it's not.
Okay, alright,
It's
let's calm
just,
down. But usually that would be insane.
Yeah, but you're not playing around the Marsh here, right?
No,
For the draw.
no.
Mountain Giant, 3 mana only. 4. Okay, there's a staff member in front of him. I think it's just a cameraman, right? Oh no.
I can't see Forsen.
3/5. What else can he do?
He's hovering over the life tap ability. I do like playing the 4/5 here. Just a nice 4-mana minion, fits the curve, doesn't waste Spellbreaker.
3/5, you mean?
Sorry, yeah, 3/5.
Yeah, okay.
And now, RDU. The Jade Blossom is a big minion.
Yeah, it's 6/6 for 3 mana. Fair enough.
On the other hand, Gadgetzan Wrath trade with the Mountain Giant is worth considering.
Yeah, maybe you just Wrath and play Jade Blossom. It's also a possibility to cycle, but I'm not too sure.
I don't like using up all of the spells without the Auctioneer. Oh, okay. Oh, because Living Roots actually still allows him to...
Yeah, to finish it off.
I like that a lot. He's going to want the second Auctioneer. I assume there is a second Auctioneer. He's going to want that soon to play combo with Wild Growth. As the first Auctioneer, there's no way it's surviving this turn.
Yeah. He needs more Jade cards, so that's his basically his win condition. And yeah, he got another one. And Azul Drake will draw another card as well as Wild Growth, so he can cycle pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to him, really. He could play 2 Jade Golems next turn and Wild Growth to draw a single card. Or he could, as you say, play a Zerdrake and Jade Spirit. There are several good options for RDU next turn. He's starting to look at a lot of pressure, though, as Forsen isn't even going to deal with this Gadgetzan Auctioneer. He's actually just going to start smacking RDU in the face.
Yeah, it's time to do something in your face, right?
Yeah, it seems like that is the time. So...
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah, you can kill it off, right? You could cycle also and kill the 3-5, the trade together.
Yes, cycling seems okay. You kind of wish the Gadgetzan Auctioneer had one more attack so you could nicely trade with a dragon and then just Wrath the 4-3 and be done with it.
Living Roots.
Does that make it better?
Yeah, Zudrak Living Roots for the 4-3 is possible, but I don't think he's going for that one.
Just hero power, I guess. Oh, and you can squeeze in the Jade Spirit.
Yeah, perfectly fine. And it's 6-6 here. Did he pass the turn? Oh yeah, okay, he did. It just looked awkward because it didn't turn.
Acidic Swampu's not going to do all that much for Forsen. And RDU actually starting to get ahead here with the Jade. Both certain is unfavored against the handlock.
Yeah, it's still a Druid, but he got quite a good hand because if I assume it plays kind of same than the Renolock maybe, or like a little bit like that, and it's so important to get your Jade running, and that's just what he did. And he ramped up Wild Growth into Blossom, pretty strong.
Second Ray Bruiser, a very, very, very strong card in this expansion, although not everyone expected it to be. Ow.
Doomsayer, just to clear off the board.
This is the thing that's so great about having as many resources as Forsen had just there. He's able to go as wide as he wants without actually wasting anything too important. And he set up the Doomsayer in such a way where even if RDU deals with it, he's still got other threats on the board. However, if Doomsayer does proc, Forsen loses all his minions because he still has a hand full of really high value cards.
Yeah, I think he'll trade it off, right? So there's no point in letting Doomsayer live here. Raven Idol. He already played one Gadgetzan, so many spells in his hand.
Yeah, I assume he runs 2, but I know of some players that are only running 1 in builds of this deck.
Yeah, it's still kind of undecided. Oh, Nourish is good.
Nourish is really good and necessary, I think. He needs to try and catch up in hands to the handlock. Okay, so able to deal with the second rate Bruiser, hero power, kill the Doomsayer. Leaving just Acidic Swampoos, that's not so bad.
Yeah, Jade Idol. Yes, he's gonna play it 1 mana, 7/7. And it's his first Jade Idol, so he still got another one. If I'm not mistaken here. I think we haven't seen one yet.
We haven't seen one, no. You're right. Is Forsen coming anywhere near to actually winning the game? Leroy combo just isn't going to happen, is it?
Yeah, just... You could Leroy board clear here.
Well, he was hovering over it a lot as if that was the intention. And then you've still got Siphon Soul for the next Jade Golem, which doesn't seem so bad, actually.
Yeah, you have to do something. You're down to 13 HP.
Oh, he's actually going to play the Leroy with the Shadow Flame.
No, Siphon Soul then, most likely.
He's thinking, where's my Reno?
Has to be somewhere here. No, it's a handlock. Okay. So Siphon Soul. No. Yeah, another taunt seems to be quite a good idea.
Forsen is so close to just being dead.
Yeah, 10.
That'll do it.
Oh, yes!
That'll do it. RDU picks up the swipe
Oh, damn.
after a long, grueling series of games, right down to the wire. It looked really bad for RDU earlier, but with that final pickup of the swipe, he's going to take the series and therefore 3rd place in the tournament.
Yeah, congrats, RDU, but also congrats to Forsen.